Like to bring your family to fights that you feel like are going to be a war. Do you feel like this is a fight that you'll bring your family to?
Welcome back, boxing fans. You're tuned in to the channel where we cover the biggest stories, heated rivalries, and major matchups from the world of boxing. Today, we're taking a closer look at the final face-off between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach ahead of their December showdown. And this final meeting delivered plenty of intensity. Many expected a simple stare down and a respectful moment between the two fighters. But that was far from what happened. The atmosphere was filled with tension, confidence, and competitive energy as both men made their final statements before stepping into the ring. So let's break down the moments, the reactions, and everything that unfolded during their appearance on DAZN. First, let's focus on the undefeated superstar, Gervonta Davis. Wherever Tank goes, attention follows, and it's easy to understand why. With an unbeaten record, a reputation for devastating knockouts, and a personality built around confidence, he has become one of boxing's biggest attractions. When Davis arrived for the final face-off, he carried himself like someone who knew the spotlight belonged to him. Wearing a stylish custom tracksuit and displaying his trademark confidence, Tank made it clear that he believed he was the main attraction. He didn't need to make a long speech or prove himself with words because his presence alone created the message. And it didn't take long before his usual intensity appeared. Davis stepped toward Roach, locked eyes with him, and began studying his opponent as if he was already imagining the moment that could produce another memorable knockout highlight.
I know you say you want like pretty much everybody, but specifically, who do you want the most?
Everybody. I don't got no fix. Ain't nobody.
This was vintage Tank Davis. He stepped into the moment with the intention of sending a clear message to Roach that he believed the outcome of the fight was already decided. But Lamont Roach refused to back down, and that's when the face-off began to take a more intense turn. For those who may not know much about Lamont Roach, he has been steadily earning respect as one of the most skilled counter-punchers in boxing. While he may not possess the same level of knockout power as Davis, his technical ability, timing, and ring intelligence make him a dangerous opponent who can force Tank into a difficult battle. Roach entered the face-off with complete confidence, looking like he understood exactly how to challenge Davis and get under his skin.
Every time you see me, it's what up, shawty. It's DAZN. You know how you talk. Fuck is you talking about, man? I'm really him. I bring any type of smoke to anything in my way.
As the two fighters stood directly across from each other, it became obvious that Roach had no intention of showing fear. Instead of backing away from the pressure, he appeared comfortable with the moment, maintaining his composure while Davis attempted to establish dominance. Roach then delivered a few pointed comments about Tank's recent opponents, suggesting that Davis had been facing fighters who were unable to handle his power. He questioned how Tank would respond against someone willing to absorb his best shots and fire back with equal intensity. The reaction from Davis was clear. He wasn't accustomed to seeing an opponent refuse to be overwhelmed by his presence, and Roach's confidence seemed to strike a nerve. At that point, the confrontation became more than just a discussion about skills inside the ring. It turned into a battle of mindset and determination. Fans are always drawn to heated rivalries, and this matchup had reached a level where the tension was impossible to ignore.
Oh, okay, yeah. I have to go with Tank.
What does he need to do to make this competitive?
Don't trade with him. You got to box. Box, smooth, time up. But it's difficult when you fight.
This intense confrontation was the result of tension that had been building between the two fighters for quite some time. Much of the hostility started online, where Davis has frequently used social media to create pressure and spark attention around his fights. Tank repeatedly targeted Roach with comments suggesting that he was nothing more than another easy opponent on his path, questioning whether Roach truly belonged among the division's elite fighters. But Roach was quick to respond, arguing that Davis had been facing less challenging opposition and had not experienced a real test in recent years. The exchanges between them went beyond boxing as well. Roach also made remarks connected to Davis's personal struggles, including his legal troubles and past time away from the sport, suggesting those experiences could have affected him mentally. Those comments clearly struck a nerve with Tank and added even more tension to an already heated rivalry. he made one thing very clear. He did not come into this fight to become another name added to Davis's knockout collection. As the final face-off arrived, the atmosphere instantly became intense. Tank Davis stood across from Roach with a cold, focused expression, looking like he was already visualizing the outcome once they stepped inside the ring. But Roach showed no signs of fear. He carried himself like someone who had been preparing for this exact opportunity for years. The energy inside the venue exploded as both fighters stood face to face. Fans were waiting for the moment when words would turn into action, and security officials had to move in when the tension started rising. Neither man wanted to back down. They stepped closer, exchanged heated words, and made it clear that this was more than a simple stare down. It had become a battle of confidence before the opening bell. Now, looking at what's at stake, Gervonta Davis enters this matchup as one of boxing's most dangerous finishers. His undefeated record and impressive knockout history have built his reputation as a fighter who can change the fight with one shot. Fans still remember the devastating body punch that stopped Ryan Garcia, a moment that showed just how much power Tank carries. Davis has built a career around delivering statement performances, and this fight represents another chance to prove he remains among the elite fighters in the sport. That's why he enters as the clear favorite. However, Lamont Roach brings a completely different challenge. He may not possess the same explosive, one-punch knockout ability as Davis, but his strength comes from his boxing intelligence. Roach is a skilled counterpuncher with sharp movement, excellent timing, and the ability to disrupt opponents who rely on pressure and aggression. That he has spent time studying Davis's approach and understands the danger that comes with facing him. During the final face-off, Roach made his message clear. He is not stepping into the ring to become another highlight moment in Tank Davis's career.
I swing like we're punching the ceiling, but nothing is feeling like anyone has any fucking ability to even stick to a subject is killing me. The inability to bend humility. Back, get it on the creek in a minute. Got me thinking of finishing everything with a seed a minute, then reaping the benefits. I'm asleep at the quillican as I'm thinking about an evil intent of another feed. I'm killing it. Cause even if I gotta end up needing a pelican, even ketamine, I'm methamphetamine with a mini, then it better be at least 70 or 300.
When questioned about Tank's knockout ability, Roach remained completely confident. He made it clear that raw power means very little if a fighter cannot successfully connect with his shots. That statement highlights the biggest factor in this matchup. If Roach can stay away from Tank's heavy attacks, avoid getting trapped, and force the fight into his own rhythm, he could create one of the biggest surprises in boxing. Adding even more intrigue to this showdown is the history between these two fighters. This isn't the first time they've been around each other. Davis and Roach have actually shared the ring environment before, crossing paths several times during their amateur careers.
The amateurs, silver gloves, everything. They grew up actually together, you know. Roach and him back and forth battles and whatnot. It's going to be a pretty interesting fight.
There's another interesting layer to their history as well. The two fighters have even shared the ring during sparring sessions in the past. According to Kenny Ellis, Tank Davis was the one who appeared to have the advantage during that session. This previous experience adds another element to their matchup, giving both fighters a little more familiarity with each other before they finally meet on the big stage.
Lamont and Tank have history. What can you tell us about their history and how that's going to play into the fight come fight night?
They got amateur history. They fought maybe 2 or 3 times. Tank being the winner. They sparred a few times. Tank got the best of the sparring. They just bigger and stronger now, you know? Older.
Now, it's some word out there that Lamont say, you know, he got some film that don't make Tank look too good. What could that? How could that affect, you know, the outcome on December 14th?
Shit, man. Tank last 4 or 5 opponents all had film like about how they beat him up in spawn. If that's the case, that shit happens. But fight night, we all know the outcome.
Eddie Hearn also shared his perspective on this highly anticipated matchup, and he didn't hesitate to point out what he sees as the biggest concern. According to Hearn, there is one major issue surrounding these two fighters facing each other, but it's probably not the problem most fans would expect.
What do you think of the announcement of the Gervonta Davis-Roach fight?
I think that, you know, it's had a lot of criticism, but it's not a bad fight. You know, Lamont Roach is a world champion. He's smaller than Gervonta Davis. The problem is not many people are aware of who he is or his ability. But he can fight. I don't think it's a huge fight, but not a terrible one.
That brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our future uploads. We'd also love to hear your opinion, so drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.